Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to everything that I sold this past week. I think I missed a week in there somewhere, but yeah, anyway, we're going to pick up where we are now currently. We just got done with the week going from May 30th, 2022 to June 6th, 2022. Hi, my name is Ronnie. I'm a part time reseller. I sell mainly on eBay, and I sold 19 items last week on eBay, so here's everything that I sold. Also, it's a very overcast day here in Kansas, so I'm sitting down. I've lost all of the energy to stand for whatever reason, and I'm blaming it on the weather. So you're going to get the kind of up the nose camera view this week. So you're welcome. First on the agenda, I've been going back and trying to reduce prices on anything that I find with a white background because that's like basically the initial background that I had on all of my listings. So if I find something that has that white background, I discount it, and I discount it very low. This is a pair of Nike windbreaker pants that I found at my local thrift where you can fill an entire bag of clothing for $3. So I estimate my cost on these to be about 25 cents, and they sold for $7 plus $8.70 in shipping. Whenever I bought this, I had immediate buyer's remorse. If you've been in the reselling game for any amount of time, I'm sure that you've come across an item where you felt like that. I bought I bought these for a quarter at my thrift, and I was like, I don't know, they're Lego, but they're used, and I really didn't feel like measuring the tablecloth. So literally, like the laziest job I could possibly do with this listing, didn't unfold the tablecloth, just kind of wadded it all up there and was like, it's a tablecloth, great condition, used once. Took two pictures, didn't even really count the number of name tags there. And to my surprise, it sold in not that long amount of time, $5.99 plus shipping. You never know what people are going to buy. It's kind of a weird, wacky world out there, folks. I had, once again, maybe a quarter into this camera and the bag, so I was perfectly fine accepting a $2 offer. Again, we're looking at the white on white background, so I know that I listed that one a long time ago. I was ready to move it out, and I was glad that I was able to. Not everything is going to be a home run, and in fact, in my experience, most things that I sell are not home runs. They're just little nickel and dimes here. You know, whenever I have 25 cents into an item, it's pretty rare then I'm going to flip that and get 10, 20, 30, $50. That just doesn't happen for me. Not in my area. It's very rural, not necessarily well-to-do neighborhood. So it's just a lot of people getting rid of stuff. But every now and then you can find some treasures. And I don't mind the nickel and dime process of that. I go to this thrift store usually twice a week probably. I always come away with something. So I'm constantly listing. I think that that's important on eBay. It's a grind, and it's not for the faint of heart, this reselling thing. I have a day job, and I love that. I couldn't imagine trying to just make reselling work on its own. So I'm happy that it's kind of a hobby side hustle for me where I can make good money. I can make YouTube videos about it and just kind of share with what's going on along with this journey. This is a DuPont coffee travel mug, very early on purchase within my thrifting adventures. Definitely not worth a ton of money. I don't think that it was ever used. Again, I had a quarter into it. I think I originally listed it for $10 and eventually accepted an offer of $3.50 to get it out of my store. This was kind of weird. I was at a different thrift shop that I go to about every 2 weeks. It's like 35 minutes from my house to get up there, so I don't get up there very often. But I was in this thrift store, and they had an LL Bean button-down shirt, much like the one that you see here that I sold this week. And I looked at that and I was like, I think that I've got one like that and it still hasn't sold. And literally as I was driving home, boop, get the notification and the shirt sold. So apparently if I go back to that thrift store the next time I'm there, I need to pick up that shirt because now I've got a vacancy. But this is like the progression in my background. So I went with the gray on the bottom and white on the back. Now it's gray on the bottom, gray on the back. So I still know that this one was listed quite a while ago. And also I've got a spreadsheet where I keep track of all of my items. I'll bring that up and show you that now. So this is my spreadsheet where I keep track of everything. My process is to take pictures of it, log it in this spreadsheet, and then put it away wherever it goes. And then the next day, usually, then I will actually do my listings. So this one had a SKU number of 320, so I can just scroll down to 320. All of the ones in red you see are items that have sold. So there's that LL Bean, yellow button down, LT, large, tall. And then I always put the weight in there as well. The location is the name of the bin where it's stored. I always do like how much I paid for it. That way I know if I get an offer for it that I'm still getting a good price for it. I've kind of gotten away from indicating the listing price here because I just really haven't used that data at all. And I used to keep track of the date sold and the sold price and all that. But I really don't need to do that because all of that is saved here on eBay. I know the exact date that it sold. I know how much it sold for. So back on the spreadsheet, I got this for $2. It sold for $9 plus shipping, so I probably made $5 to $6 on this shirt. I'm perfectly fine with that. I was really super happy with this one. I've gotten into the process. Really, I'm on the tail end of the process of liquidating pretty much everything from my Lego investment portfolio other than sealed sets. I did buy 240 of these Lego collectible minifigures, and I wound up being able to make 6 complete sets. So instead of selling them individually on Whatnot, they were getting maybe $3 to $4 a piece. I listed the complete set on eBay because the complete set, I had the lowest price here with 84, or I listed it at 90. I think I accepted the best offer of $84.99. That was the lowest price that these were listed at. I paid $120 for 3 sets of these. So if all of them sell for $85, I am well above, what I had into these and then some, we're in the territory of 2 times profit margin, which is awesome. And I've still got 2 more of these sets to sell. The rest of them I've already sold. I wish that the guy that I bought them from had more for sale, because I'd definitely buy them, because you open up all the bags, you part them out, you make a complete set, and all of a sudden, bam, profit. It just takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of effort to take the photographs, but really, after you get one complete set, you're done with the listing, because as soon as this listing was over, I just relisted it. That way it got freshened up, and it wasn't just like you could add, I could go ahead and say, hey, I've got 3 of these available, and somebody could come along and purchase all 3. But I tend to like having just one listed as available, because I think psychologically for buyers, if they see that there's 3 listed at the same price, they're going to think, I can just buy that later because there's so many listed. Whereas if I just have 1 listed at the best possible price, I think psychologically that buyer's going to think, I better get this now because it might disappear. I've been guilty of that myself, for sure, many times. If I see a listing and there's quantity available, I might come back to that at a later time. Whereas if I see, hey, that's a good deal, there's only 1 available, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. So I would definitely advise kind of going that route if you have multiples of the same item type. All right, so after my second to last Whatnot auction that I did, in that auction, I auctioned off several Lego sets, started them at $1. It was like a customer appreciation kind of thing, and I didn't, for as much as I sold them for, I don't appreciate my customers that much. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate my customers, but I sold a cyborg brickhead that went for $3, and that hurt my soul. So I was like, okay, I thought that I learned my lesson before about selling sets on Whatnot, and especially not pricing them or starting the bid out at what I would be comfortable getting for them. I've definitely learned my lesson about that, but I immediately went and logged this brickhead on eBay, and it sold this week for $19 with free shipping. That was the lowest price offered. It was not listed for very long. Quick flip, turned right around, and no more sets on Whatnot for me. No. Did you know that Tap Out made shoes that look very much like Converse? I didn't either, but apparently they do. White on white background. They've been listed forever. Brought them down to $7, and they sold pretty quick at that price point. Really nice lot of Adidas basketball shorts. I initially bought these. They were $2.50 a piece that I paid for them from a flea market, and I was going to wear them, but then I was like, you know what? I've got so many pairs of shorts. It just doesn't make sense for me to wear these Adidas shorts. They're really nice shorts, but I'd rather have the money for them, quite frankly, and just be comfortable wearing my Walmart shorts and my other thrift store shorts that I've got already, because I knew I could flip these for a good profit. And sure enough, I did. Listed them at $30, accepted a best offer of $24. If you guys watched my haul video on Tuesday, you know that I already sold this calculator. I only had it for maybe a week. I was going to initially list it for $30 because I thought that's what comps were going for. But then I looked a little bit further into the listings, and some of them were working, some of them weren't, some of them didn't have the cover, didn't have the charging cable. So mine was the lowest price that was absolutely complete, that had a picture. I think this was crucial, had a picture with it turned on and working. So it sold for $50 pretty darn quick. I probably could have got more on that, but I only had $1 into it, so I was just really pleased to quickly turn that one around. And one thing I didn't know about these that I'll let you guys know if you come across a TI-84 Plus C, I initially thought that the battery was going to be no good because it has screws on the back cover. I think I even talked about that in my haul video. It's a rechargeable battery pack that's in there that's proprietary to this particular calculator. Luckily, I had a cable that worked for it, so I charged it up, went ahead and threw in that cable because I wasn't using it for anything, and boom, there you go. So a little bit of extra effort definitely, I think, brought me in some extra money because I could have just listed this as untested, shown it with the screen off, and I bet I would have been lucky to get maybe $20 out of it. So just a little bit extra time and effort definitely yielded some good results for me. So I used to be into one wheel, and I had a one wheel, and I thought that I would do like a bunch of designs, and I made a bunch of t-shirts. I made some vinyl decals. Listed these on eBay. I've got 37 of them left. I had 50 of them printed originally. I think my total cost into them was like $40 for all 50 of them. So if they all sell, then I'll be doing really good on them, but it's a very slow burn. But on this one, I think this one wound up selling for $3, I want to say is the best offer that I accepted for, or maybe it was $4. But with these, I don't ship them via first class because it would cost more to ship them than what I charge for the auction. So what I do is I just put them in a little cardboard envelope that I bought specifically to ship these decals in, put one stamp on it, that's all it takes, and then throw it in the mail. There's no tracking available with it, so if the buyer says they never received it, I don't have any way to prove that. But I haven't had any issues yet. All of the buyers have received these. I've gotten positive feedback on them, and it's been good to go. Only 37 more to sell. Another white-on-white background item here that's just been hanging around. I found this at Goodwill for $5 way back when. I thought it was going to be such a good score. You know, it's Nike. It's a soccer jersey. It's in really good condition. No stains or anything like that. No rips, tears. Just a solid shirt. But no matter what I priced it at, I couldn't sell it until I got it down to $11 with shipping. Sweet little flip right here because this Bunn coffee maker cost me exactly $0. My parents bought this for their own personal use and they wound up just not using it. They prefer the Keurig, which I can totally agree with and understand. The Keurig is an amazing machine. Amazing machine. But this Bunn, it's a $100 unit in Walmart. So I don't know if they've discontinued this unit or what the deal is. But the parents forgot to bring the manual and a cleaning tool. So I messaged the buyer and I said, hey, thanks for buying this. If you want to wait a day, my parents are going to ship me the manual and the cleaning tool. I'd be happy to include that if you're willing to wait just a little bit extra time. They said, no, thank you. I already own one of these. It's my favorite coffee maker in the whole world, and I want to have a backup just in case the original one breaks. I was like, okay, because $69.99 plus $20 in shipping, that is very near the retail price that my parents paid for it maybe a year ago. Maybe it's 2 years ago. So maybe it's discontinued. I looked up comps on it. It seemed like that's what they were selling for. But yeah, maybe it's a super rare Bunn coffee maker. And apparently it's got a following because this person really, really needed to have an extra one in their life in case that primary model broke down on them. So thank you, Mommy and Daddy, for the coffee maker that got me $70 in the bank account. Old listing, crappy profit margin. I think I did pay $0.25 for this polo. I might have paid $5 for it. This might have been a Goodwill purchase. But yeah, it's a size large, so I figured it would sell okay, but it's just not a very pleasing looking polo, I guess is what I would say about it now looking at it. But again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everything that I buy and sell throughout this journey is a learning experience. Now I know if I find a Nike polo, even if it's in good condition and a good size, if it's not a particular design or a particular fabric or like Tiger Woods or something like that, I'm just not going to get the money. It's not going to be worth it. So learning experience. Speaking of learning experiences, I bought like every New Balance pair of shoes that I could find in the early going because I was watching all of these flip channels that were like, New Balance, people love them. And I've never been a New Balance fan. They just have never spoken to me. So I bought these way back in the day. I looked up comps in the store on them and they were selling for $40-$50 every day of the week. Got home and listed them, only to realize that the the left is at size 10.5 and the right is a size 11. So I guess somebody got these custom made or something. I don't know how they got them, but they finally sold for $15 and free shipping. So I lost my lunch on these, but they're just huge and we're taking up a bunch of space. And I didn't think that they'd ever sell, so I was happy to accept that offer and get them out of my inventory. You know, learning lessons, this is a good lesson that I've talked about before. It wasn't that long ago that I shared that I purchased a pair of Croc sandals, and whenever I got them home, I realized that I had 2 lefts and no right. So always check your shoes. Make sure that you've got A left and a right, and B, the correct size on each side, other than, obviously checking condition and things like that, because this has happened to me twice now where I've had not a match, and I've gotten burned by it. Wii game that I bought for $1 at a flea market sold for $3. Nothing else needs to be said about that. I was happy to move it for that price. This was one of those, oh, I regret buying this shirt, and I don't even feel like listing it. But I did. I don't know what happened with my background here. My background looks brown in that picture. My gray background looks brown. There must have been some filtering going on there. But I bought this for 50 cents at a local thrift shop, and I got $6 for it. I was pleased as punch. I've got another one that is in the backlog. It does have like really nice stitching, so if you're going to go to Jamaica, I thought, maybe that would be a fun little shirt to have, and it's kind of like vintagey, and the collar was thrown on there upside down, so kind of an air shirt. I don't know, somebody wanted it for $6. I'm cool with that. I debated on this one whether or not to accept the offer. I was going through a bit of a dry spell, and I was like, I want to sell something. I want to have the satisfaction of knowing that I need to go to the post office and ship an item, because it had been a day or two, really, probably, since I mailed something. This is a PSP charger that I just found loose in a box. They usually just give these to me, so maybe it cost me 25 cents, but I probably got it for free. I had it listed for $10. I think that was probably the best price available for one that was in really good condition like this. Again, they offered me $5.50. I was in the mood to sell, so I accepted that offer. The last item that I sold on eBay, this Massimo purse. I bought, I think, 9 total purses from a local flea market for $15. This is the third or fourth one that I've sold at this point. The Massimo one is not one that I thought would have sold. I originally did this as, again, a way for me to kind of investigate and figure out whether or not buying purses would be worth it. Even if I could get them for cheap enough, obviously. Everything's worth it at the right price. And I figured 9 purses at $15 would be worth it. I've made my money back just selling those 3. I was really happy to see this one sell for $8. The shipping on purses is, I think, what kills a lot of the value, unless you have something that's really valuable, like a Vera Bradley, or something along those lines, a Coach, whatever other high-end brand purses are out there that I don't know about. But now I know, if I find a Massimo purse for $1, I could maybe get $8 for it, so that might be worth picking up. So that's everything that I sold this week on eBay. Let's take a look at the financials of what this breaks down to. All right, so here we go. This is the seller report page on eBay for May 29th to June 6th for me. $615.85 in total sales. We had taxes collected by eBay in $31.26. Our cost, which includes fees and shipping, $285.30, meaning a net sales of $299.29, which is the perfect amount because I just found 6 Elite Trainer Box Pokemon 25th celebrations in Walmart, and I spent $300 on them. So there goes that money. Sorry, house payment that I was supposed to put towards you and pay off my house at some point, but it's an investment. So that's what I brought in on eBay this past week. We'll switch over to Whatnot and show you how we did there. 2 auctions to share with you guys on the Whatnots. We sold $647 worth of merchandise on May 29th. 114 total items. There's still 1 pending delivery. That's interesting. After fees, we got $543.02. This was all minifigures. All of my old minifigures, a couple of things that were left over from the Bricklink store. This was the second to last Lego auction that I've ever done. And I do believe this one is going to be maybe my last Lego auction. And hooray, I finally cracked the $1,000 mark. It's the first time that I've done that. This was a 3.5 hour long auction. I was very tired at the end of this, but I was determined to sell all of the stuff that I wanted to sell and to just kind of be done with everything on Whatnot as far as Lego stuff goes. I would love to get back into Whatnot at some point and be able to sell just random, generic clothing, just kind of stuff that I'm having trouble moving on eBay. I think that it's going to be a dumpster fire, that I'm not going to get hardly any money for any of that stuff, but it will be a way to move stuff out of my inventory to some customers. Harry Tornado put out a video today, and they went to Goodwill, they bought stuff, they immediately came home and they sold it on Whatnot without announcing the auction or anything. Took them 30 minutes to sell 7 items, and they made $250. They've got a social media presence. I do not very much at this point. Like, they have over 300,000 followers on YouTube, probably that many on Instagram. So it's really easy for them to just go and buy something real quick, throw it up on Whatnot and sell it, and not have to worry about taking pictures and, and doing all the listing and waiting around, which, I mean, that's the reseller's dream right there, the quick flip like that. I mean, that's awesome for them. I am not salty. I am in awe of them, and I'm going to chase that. I would love to be able to get to that level someday. That would be really nice. But yeah, I was happy to sell over $1,000 for the first time. Almost $1,300 worth of merchandise sold. $1,113 made its way to my PayPal account. I've spent some of that so far on Pokemon cards, but I've been good. I've been reserved. I could have went in deep on some things, but I was like, nope. Let's pump the brakes. Pokemon Go is going to come out, the card set pretty soon. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit, Ronnie. You're getting pretty crazy there with the Pokemon card purchases, but I think it's going to be a good investment at some point. So I am keeping track of my cards as well. This is the same spreadsheet. So every time I buy some kind of cards, I list out, what I paid for it, what it is, the month that I bought it, and then where I'm storing it. So yeah, that's a pretty expensive list. I mean, that stuff adds up pretty quick. But I've got a ton of stuff. I've got a ton of Lego sets that are just sitting around and sealed. And even after sitting on my shelves for a year, 2 years, 3 years, some of them just are not going up in value very much. Like, it seems like the retirement dates for Lego sets are just continually getting pushed out and out and out. And I just feel like with the price increases in Lego, where the Pokemon market is at right now, which is it's low after having a really big boom. So I feel like it's a good time to get in there and invest. I feel like there's an opportunity there. And it just doesn't take up nearly as much space. I mean, if all of these were Lego sets, there's no way. There's no way I could do it. But because card boxes are pretty small, you can pack them in there. And, hopefully something like this. This is like my favorite thing that I've got in my collection. Celebrations Ultra Premium Box. Let's bring it up on eBay. I'll show you exactly what it is. So within this ultra premium box, the reason that it's so expensive, it originally retailed for $120, and you could only get it from the Pokemon Center online, and they sold out pretty much immediately. There are 2 chase cards that are guaranteed in every box, and that is the gold metal Pikachu and Charizard. Both of those are included in that box. So just to buy those 2 cards raw, the minimum price on eBay is $155. That's a lot of money. If you get one, you get it graded. You're going to start going up from there, right? We've got a Charizard that graded 8.5 and it's going for $235. Again, I paid $350 for that box. That was the cheapest price at the time. Let's see here. $320 plus $14.95 shipping. Ooh, $330 free shipping. Uh-oh, I might need to order another one of these. That's a really good price. So, I think that probably these are going to go up in value at some point because these are still relatively new to the market. I believe these came out in October of 2021, so they're still pretty easy to find. Whenever people get them, I think they crack them open pretty regularly. I don't know how many of these are listed. It looks like there's a ton of them listed on here. So including the gold cards, there's 311 that are listed here on eBay's website. And to get further down the Pokemon hole, in case you're interested, you can go to a website called TCG Player. And then that's a good place to kind of look at what the market value is for stuff as well. So let's look at that ultra premium collection on here also. Yeah, so like the cool thing about TCG Player is that they give you that nice little snapshot of the market. So you can kind of see there March 2022, it was at 310. It kind of boomed right there at a market price of 390. It's flattened out a little bit, but now it's climbing again. Everything with this thing is trending in the upward direction. So that makes me think that it's going to continue to go even past that. Like Elite Trainer boxes that are $40 that are not very rare and hard to get and were only available for a short amount of time. Those go for $4, $5, $6, $1,000, 4 or 5 years after retirement. So my plan is to just hang on to this. I'm not going to open it as much as I would like to. I guess I could buy that second one and open it, which is kind of my strategy. If there's something that I really want to open, I'll buy 2 and I'll stow one away. And I definitely keep it down in the basement. I keep it away from me. I've got like my little card area set up here of all the stuff that I'm like planning on opening. And everything that's investment is downstairs. It's put away. It's out of sight. It's not something that I walk by and see all the time. That way I'm not tempted. Because I think that's definitely the interesting thing about investing in sealed card product. If you're a collector, there's always going to be that itch, that scratch of, I could open that and there's a potential that I could get X card and it could be worth X dollars. but the likelihood of that card actually being in there is very low, right? To like kind of make up the money. So I'm going to try and be a sealed Pokemon collector. I'm also going to collect cards. I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about my life on eBay, what I'm doing there, Pokemon investing, love to have a little dialogue with you guys. Happy to answer any questions you have. As always, happy buying, happy selling. Good luck out there. We'll see you in the next video.